U.S. is facing a crisis, and that crisis is an energy crisis. The U.S. can't produce the necessary amount of energy that we require to operate, and we need a solution to this problem, but everything we turn to either costs too much or is insufficient. And the U.S. is slowly falling into a hole of insufficient energy, and someday, at this rate, we will not have enough energy to sustain ourselves. Many viable sources have arisen, such as alternative energy, nuclear energy, or fossil fuels, but many of them have either been too costly or we don't want to put in the work to reach them. If we would just for a moment look to the future instead of to the present, we would see all the major benefits of implementing these new power supplies. One power supply that has arisen is the nuclear power, and nuclear power is a safe and clean energy that can be a never-ending source because it's produced from the destruction of atoms. Many of you may know what nuclear power is capable of and know that the U.S. has little to no problems with it. If nuclear power was implemented, this could be the solution to our energy crisis. So today I'm going to address the need for nuclear power, how nuclear power has benefited the U.S., and if nuclear power is implemented, our energy crisis would be solved. And so the need for nuclear power. Fossil fuels has caused Earth to develop many problems. So the fossil fuels create greenhouse gases which build up in the atmosphere and over time can cause sunlight to be trapped inside the Earth, which will cause global warming. And that's one major problem that the world is actually facing today is the breaking down of ice and causing the world to flood. And the burnout of these fossil fuels can create carbon dioxide. And you know that we can't breathe carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide actually can kill us. And so the burning of these fossil fuels can hurt us and the world just by actually being burned. And my next point is many countries would benefit, but we don't want to pay the cost. Many countries would be able to benefit from the use of these nuclear reactors because they aren't as expensive as most other sources, but they still give plenty of energy. And so any nation that is low at lacking on energy, such as your third world countries, putting in one nuclear reactor could spark the whole economy and get that nation working. And for my next issue, nuclear power has and will benefit the U.S. The U.S. Makes about 30% of all nuclear generation, and that's according to the World Nuclear Association. And nuclear power is unmatchable, and it makes millions of energy every day. And so nuclear power and everything, they have the ability to produce huge amounts of power, while most fossil fuel factories can't produce even half of what they do. And for my next point, nuclear reactors produce 20% of the energy consumption. They take less space than fossil fuel factories, and they're a clean energy. So nuclear reactors produce 20% of the energy that the U.S. needs, while fossil fuels make about 80%. While nuclear reactors are clean and they create sufficient energy, while fossil fuel factories give out carbon dioxide that hurt our environment. And for my last issue, if nuclear power is implemented, our energy crisis would be solved. Because nuclear reactors create much more energy than fossil fuel factories do, we could use less factories and more nuclear reactors and get the same amount of energy with less space and for less cost. The U.S. currently has 99 reactors, and that's for nuclear reactors, while they have 600 fossil fuel factories, and they make about between 75 and 80% of our energy. Compared to nuclear reactors and being able to make 20% with only 99 reactors, that is minuscule compared to what fossil fuel factories, they make 75% with 600 reactors. Indiana alone has 32 fossil fuel factories, and one nuclear reactor could replace all of them, because one nuclear reactor creates the amount of energy that many of those could do, but they do it with less time and less energy. And waste can be safely disposed of. Nuclear reactors do create nuclear waste, but any large amount can be put back into the nuclear reactor and more energy can be streamed from that, or the less amounts can actually be bottled into glass and placed safely underground away from harming other people. and the costs are equal. A typical fossil fuel factory or a nuclear factory both cost around $2 billion, which is an average cost for most energy supplies. And the using of these fossil fuel nuclear factories would actually create more high-paying jobs, and the jobs that are used with fossil fuel factories can be changed over. In conclusion, nuclear power reactors are necessary for our energy consumption and for us to have clean, safe energy. The U.S. makes most of the nuclear generation with less reactors than what is needed for fossil fuels.
Stop you there. Thank you.
I know there's nuclear fission and nuclear fusion reactors. Is there any which way to tell if either one of them is safer than the other?
Not necessarily. We just know that they both make a lot more nuclear waste than a typical nuclear reactor that actually works off of the breaking and splitting of atoms. And so either one of those, they do create a good amount of energy, but it's less than the breaking of atoms, and they create more waste.
Wouldn't it turn out being more expensive considering all the radioactive material that they have to put into it to make the energy?
Well, it would cost $2 million to build the factory, but same as fossil fuel factories, it takes $2 million to build it. But then again, you also have to be able to go around and find coal and other things that we can burn.
Isn't nuclear power a whole lot more dangerous than fossil fuels?
It is more dangerous, but that is only for other countries such as Japan, where they don't regulate it as well as we do. So if you've seen, the U.S. hasn't had any problems with it because we make sure that nothing happens to them, or keep them in a safe area where they can't be affected.
All right.